This is your daily market review for Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to success.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Hopefully you had an amazing weekend. Happy holidays. Hope you were safe, had a good time, recharged, relaxed, ready to go. Today was officially the Monday of this week, even though it is Tuesday. And yeah, not surprised. Market was up a little bit. You had the S&P, Case-Shiller, FHA, real estate stuff all coming out a little slower than expected. But for the most part, again, the economy, as we've talked about, is the silent recession. More likely than not, next year it's going to be harder for the economy to stay in the path that it's on. But neither here nor there, all in doubt, always define your risk, have a plan, make sure you define what you're willing to lose. Because I think a lot of people who go long, go short, whatever, they get married to their position. And you got to be careful. Again, I think it's going to be a trader's market very similar to the 1970s. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Did a live chat today. Thought it was pretty good. If you have any questions, again, please reach out. Didn't realize this, but 80% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed. Why? I don't know. If you're watching these videos consistently, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Appreciate it. Also, to get your referral link. Brokerages possibly going up, belly up, have no doubt something like that could happen. Yeah. I mean, Schwab comes to mind. And then get your Marcus. It's up to 5.5%. That's really good, guys. Follow, like I said, like, subscribe, notification bell. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Leave a comment below. If you're going to troll it, I'll just probably delete your comment potential. Because, again, it's like, bring something good. I don't mind criticism, but people who just talk junk just to talk junk, it's just, I don't know. It's like those people who go out of their way to like leave nasty reviews, even though they don't really care. It's like, yeah, if you want to ruin someone's day or hurt someone's feelings, it only hurts yours. Remember, you can't destroy energy. You just try to transfer it. But sadly, when you get yell or angry, get mad at someone, it doesn't make you feel better, but temporarily, because then you feel bad afterwards. Also, follow on the Twitters, letter X, whatever you want to call it. Again, here's the link to the live chat. Dropped a little video about the Case-Shiller data. Either way. All right. Fed probabilities, 14.5%. Just always like to, I mean, we've said, watch this. It's been in the like anywhere from the 12 to 14%. March is where it gets a little dicey. It's basically a 70% chance. That's a lock if it continues. Bitcoin, we talked about like a little chop top, range high, M top. I don't trust anything because I think they can flush it all away quickly. Now, I would think someone like 30,000 would be a safe support, but just be careful. Oil, gas, right? Check this out. We talked about it being, oversold, high short position. Okay, not surprised. I stopped out a drip today, which, again, is pretty typical. Again, you never know for sure, but we can always look back. I like natural gas in meaning that I don't think there's much downside. I don't know if it's going to go bonkers, but that's where we've talked about the KOLD trade. We'll talk about that here shortly. The dollar went ex-div. Man, it's basically getting as close as it can if the 200-day was moving with the ex-div. Keep an eye on it. The dollar peaking, dollar. I mean, it's the worst. It's the turd that's the worst out of all the turds in the toilet, sadly, comparing the dollar to all other currencies. TLT, we talked about watching this 9,900 range. I mean, it looks a little suspect up here. Near term. Again, longer term, I don't know. I really don't know how we can fund the government. I mean, they're selling 2-year treasuries today at 4.5%, where years ago they could have been selling 30 years at 2.5%. Dummies. All right, the VIX holding the 20-day. We talked about compressing, getting over it. Okay. Again, this is things that make you look like, all right, think in your mind. Market has potential to drop. Here you go, Vixen picking up. Vivix, we talked about basing in the low 80s. It's pretty good for a bounce. SPY, here you go. Fake out, breakout. We'll see. Interesting close. I mean, volume was doo-doo, and then at the very close, I mean, again, we've talked about this reoccurring pattern where at the end of the day, sell. At the end of the day, sell. At the end of the day, sell. Buy in the morning, sell in the end of the day. Keep an eye on that. That trend seems to be reoccurring. Spot QQQ got knocked out on my puts. Whatever. Again, I'm kind of moving things around, looking at things. And this is what's so hard. Define your risk. I have no problem. But here's the thing I don't mind doing is that ultimately, if I have to jump back in, we will. And these days, like these little candles, novice gaps, Keep an eye on it. IWM trying to break out. Everybody's favorite trade, right? There's a lot of volume up here. A lot of volume. It's been lagging. Now I wouldn't say it's necessarily leading, because if you zoom out, it's not anywhere close to leading. But off the lows, I mean, money's going into it. Dia high, Dia low, chopping up at the highs. Gold all over the place today. Again, I don't trust this because they can throw the baby out with the bathwater. When the VIX explodes, hedge funds have to hit the redemptions. Everybody has to sell, forced liquidation. This is what typically happens. So just be careful. Be careful. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. It's hard to really trust when silver, GDX, none of these names are really following, because again, if this stuff's really about to go, it should be all rallying pretty strong. GDX, I mean, this has been lagging for what feels like forever. Should be up in the 40s, not so much. GDXJ should be up in the 50s plus. All these names. Now, again, longer term, I think there's value down here. If you disappeared for a year or two, you'd probably be fine buying here, but I don't trust them not pulling back essentially before they go. AG, same thing. Yeah, you're probably at the bottom-ish area. AEM, nice little rally, but here you go. But all these names. Newmont makes no sense to me. Gets up to the 200-day, and it's just been plopping around. I mean, look at this thing. It should be in the 70s or 80s. PAAS, same kind of thing. I mean, these things have just been absolutely smoked. Agree, there's probably not much downside, but again, I would hate for a company to go out of business, and then all of a sudden you're what? These companies would rally back afterwards, but they would be significantly cut potentially in their equity pricing, meaning, hey, the stock could go down to 8, but then go up to 20 versus, all right, you buy it at 16, it goes to 20. But it could be painful in between. You never know. You never know. I've seen crazier things. Taiwan Semi, interesting that it's holding up. Year of the Dragon coming up. China is going to back off. I think they're going to take over. Novice Gap, man, look at the wicks every day. Same thing, kind of like pop and then chop all day. AMD holding up in here in the 140s, the 130s, upper 130s. Interesting. Close. Could be just a retest. And then again, if you get stopped out, it's not the end of the world. NVIDIA chopping. I mean, I don't understand why Nancy Pelosi would be buying the 120 calls for next year. Doesn't make sense. Intel rallied today. Keep an eye on this for a potential top novice gap trap, because Israel is going to supposedly spend $3.2 billion, yada, yada. I don't know. Meaning I don't trust that kind of Intel near term intellectual property. But keep an eye on it. I mean, again, this is the thing. It's tough because semis are getting the boost because of government subsidies. Ideally, that's the thinking behind it. But ultimately, you need the economy to be strong. We'll see. We shall see. SMH chopping at the highs. Adobe, we talked about it hitting the 20-day from the backside. Just chopping around. It's one of those names. Again, you would think this would be rallying with the market, but this is what we've noticed recently with earnings. Names that have had earnings, they've gotten smoked. Apple watching the 20-day about the crack. Amazon stopped out of this one today. Just kind of watching it. I've got other names. It's holding over this high. So until it gets back below it, I would think it would be a 1 or 2 day thing. It's not. CRM, same kind of thing, like riding the channel high. I mean, you can take a look at those. GOOG, fake out, breakout, question mark. Like, I don't know, Doji up here. Well, the volumes are just doo-doo. Meta took a short on this one today. Again, people are like, why would you short it up here? I'm like, I don't know. It's a very clear here. I'll show you on the monthly. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. Sorry, the weekly. I apologize. Let me pull it up. Oh, that's right. All my charts didn't clear out. Check this out. Not clear out, but I had a bunch of stuff get erased. I mean, why wouldn't I take a short up here? And if it goes, I mean, this is a straight line move. It's not sustainable, right? Even if it just pulls back $30, $40, I'm not going to complain about it. That's the worst. I mean, at best, it could get flopped. I mean, if you go look at what's going on, insiders, Zucker is selling as much as he can to fund a almost $1 billion complex potentially in Hawaii. Why is he selling? I don't know. Mr. Softy chopping 20-day. Not much to say there. NDAQ rallied, and then, again, this is where it's tough. The market holds up. You got to define your risk. And if you take small losses, it's not the end of the world. But I like that one for short. MicroStrategy, again, is this a trap up here? Bitcoin, I don't trust it. Netflix got up to the 500 range, flopping, chopping. I mean, not really flopping, but chopping. Roblox, I think it benefited from the China gambling news, supposedly. Keep an eye on this level. It's important. Tesla, again, giving bulls hope, bears frustration, just chopping here at Massive trend line reference areas here in the 250 plus. We'll see what happens here. Airbnb, this is one that we've been short and has been working. Again, you ride your winners, you dump your losers. This looks good from the 147 area. Costco, we got stopped out of this when they announced that big dividend post earnings. We luckily got out here, continue to rally. They had their ex-div, I think it is Thursday or Friday. And again, it'll be paid out in January. Keep an eye on that one. Starbucks, we talked about this being doo-doo. Global growth name. FedEx got an upgrade today. Interesting. Can't get over the 250s. Watch it. Caterpillar, is it breaking out or just going to hit the channel high? That's a good question. Again, global growth name. We'll see how this one sustains. I mean, this is just a quick, rapid acceleration up. Nucor, we talked about it getting up here. I mean, you're at an old reference. Check this out. I mean, you're at the old highs. Let's see if it could do. Letter X, talked about it. I don't think this deal is going to go through, but I don't know if I'd be shorting and expect a big drop. I think there will be buyers at lower prices. VALE, we've talked another global growth name, just kind of stuck in the mud, watching these areas. Arrow, I mean, if you zoom out, I think they've been crushed. Arrow, we talked about this is a good copper name. We thought it was due to bounce. You go 100-day, some old trend lines. I keep an eye on this mid-16. CCJ, this has been a leader up. Uranium names starting to 20-day curl down. I mean, it looks like it's topping. CF, again, we like ag names. Supposedly there's some big call spreads out there. We'll see. I mean, you got like a head and shoulders bottom. You got complex. I just don't know if the market does what I think it's going to do at some point. The VIX will spike into the 30s, 40s, 50s. All these names will get tossed, and that's when I will buy them. But if they don't, then again, we'll play the uptrends over time. AA, same kind of thing. Popped and then gave it back today. You're at an interesting area. I mean, just look to the left. I mean, we got this whole VAP zone. Will it break out? I don't know. XLFer, liking the short on this one. People have a lot of insights on this one. A lot of people have, interpretations. Your guess is good as mine. Near term, I think it's an easy short though, with a tight stop. Very easy. JP Mo got stopped out of this one and then just shorted the FAS. I mean, could it get back up here? Old all-time highs are not that far off at the 170 area. Could it get there? I don't know. They've got a lot of crap coming in the pipeline. That's not going to be beneficial to them. And this is a pretty ridiculous straight line move. Morgan Stanley, we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Chopping up here. Ranges, BAC, same kind of thing. You got your spots. Be careful. Check this out. 38s. We'll see. Goldman Sachs. Again, I like all these names, but it's just easier with the XLF. I mean, you've got references to the left. Hope that helps. KRE, we talked about the 53s being resistance. It's chopping around. Chop. XBI, we talked about these bios being oversold long term. Like we talked about down here, it's been pretty much smoked. These things are up in the 170, this ETF. It's just looks like to me a big chop range. I mean, they like lower rates, but see what happens when it gets up into the 90 area. I don't trust that to continue on. So solar holding up, chopping around. Again, we talked about the oversold, waiting for the bounce. That's a decent bounce. It's just, again, pick your names wisely. Sedge, we've talked about these things bouncing, but these things, to me, in opinion, have no upside if they get cooked in time. I said ENPH, kind of like this area here, but then it's like, man, you're so close to the 200-day. I don't know. It's if you go zoom out in the monthly, there's resistance here. First Solar, I mean, we like the short around here, but it's going to be choppy and sloppy. If oil rises a little bit, maybe these pop. It's one of those things where no matter what you do, define your risk. HYG, I'm amazed anyone have any desire in corporate debt. Like you guys must be high as a kite. Watch these levels, and then we'll end it with oil and gas. Oil. Again, we talked about being oversold due to a bounce. UNG, I'm not like, I mean, again, this ETF is crap. Let it reverse split. I do like the short and the KOLD. If you can get this, I mean, anywhere as close to the highs as you can, I think this has a massive amount of room to get just destroyed by deteriorates over time, price deterioration because of time decay. Like pull the words, come on, you can find it. That's a problem. XOP, again, it got over my levels. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bounce, stop out, drip. Got out at like 1070. Whatever. Not bad. Bought it at 930. ExxonMobil. Where are you, Exxon? Sorry. Talking to myself. Again, this name, you would think this would be up more. It's just chopping around here at resistance. Occidental. Oversold. Buffett buying a little bit. Okay. I mean, he doesn't care if this thing goes anywhere. CVE, I know Jay Solstice is looking at this one. Little gap up today. Man, the volume is just so light on this thing, but it looks like it's, you got a tradable bottom, no doubt. MPC, we said watch the mid 150s. It's kind of chopping around here, holding the trend, trying to. Valero, same kind of thing, chopping around, chop, chop. EQT, chop, chop, chop. Nothing really to say on these names. I mean, if you shorted 44s, I mean, that's the thing. I don't really like the idea of shorting individual names because they all could be buyout targets, but I like the idea of shorting this stuff. Oh, what is this? Why do I have two of these? I must have. Anyway, so if you have any questions, again, please reach out. Always here to help. Let me know what's going on in your life. If you have any questions about this stuff, because I think a lot of times, I don't know, a lot of people struggle. And you know what? What do you do? I mean, it's just the reality of it. You can get mad about it, or you can just trade around it, knowing that the market's not going to always be simple. So, again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.